to the divine infinite consciousness, and peace to the divine infinite self in all realms and realities. Yo, black people don't have a nationality. Now, when I say black people, I'm talking about the American nigga. We all know. The one who get all the gold medals, the one who can run the fastest, jump the highest, the most athletic, most creative. You know, the ones who made hip hop a culture and gave it to the world that they're using to this day. See, niggas or Nagas or Incas or Nagusas don't have a nationality. So when we say that black, which means a color, also when we say colored people, which means a description of something that has hue to it. When we say straight up Negro or African American, do you know that none of that has no value or hold up in their de facto court systems? And the reason why I'm saying de facto is because it's been infiltrated, we can say, by the deep state or just some secretive motherfuckers who sought after to control the rest of the world, or the kings of the world. Now, after the last mud flood apocalyptic event, they was able to take over. Like the Spanish conquistadors, when they found the island of Cali. You know, same as they did all over the world. Now, when you talking about the black man in court, it's like, do black lives matter? Now, I'm going to tell you, on your birth certificate as a black man, your mom and father was the informants to the IMF agency, which in turn informed the government of your natural birth and existence. And they gave you a straw man, which is a fictional character. And they used that to create debt in the supreme creditor of the you and I verse, the original. See, we have forgotten how to be in our proper status, our proper pro se, all of the terms that go with court. And no matter how far we go, we will get stopped somehow, some way. Now, there's a reason for that, because the planets wasn't lined up. It wasn't time for it yet. Saturn wasn't in this position with Jupiter to serve the justice. So, learning all of the extra status quos, challenging the jurisdiction of the court, you know, that can kind of work when you're dealing with, you know, parking tickets, because you're driving a vehicle which has cargo in it, and you know you got a license plate which shows that you have a business now. And so when you transporting passengers or persons, you're transporting companies, businesses, you know. So even countries, if you're dealing with the representation or the representative of another land that's over here in this land of America. So yeah, man, it's a big computer chip. It just put a lot of confusion into the shit, which allowed only certain individuals to excel. Basically, the first ones who was to excel was the ones who sold out black people first. And now, black people, this is why they can pull your ass over at any time, because you're not in your proper pro se, you're not in your proper persona, your correct status. So they pull you over by illegally running your plate on a city block. And when they do, these are just individuals who are employed by the city. And they have been infiltrated as well by so-called KKKs and other hate forces and terrorist forces that's out here, that's also outnumbering a lot of the good souls. or good spirits. So when you say Black Lives Matter, that's for real to say. How much does it matter? You know, they got an organ here, an organ there. You know, a lot of shit's been happening since Saturn's been asleep. They know justice is coming. And in this day and time, does your vote really count? Or are they just counting the census and keeping your mind in tune and entangled with the nonsense and the fuckery that's going on? We already know, if you study, that the electoral votes is the ones that count. And that's dealing with colleges. That's dealing with universities. So yeah. So when you be black and you're calling yourself black, this whole situation is basically a mockery of your supernatural existence, which they know of, but you don't know of. So now we're debating ancient pyramids, texts, and other archaeologists' findings that we haven't even went to go do the knowledge for ourselves. And the ones who have is the ones who's coming back to teach you, but to give you the big I, little U syndrome. This is why it's important to raise the light to the top, to the crown chakra. So you can't be fooled no more, eating the right foods. But each level you raise up is going to be a new devil there to try to stop you. And just like in any video game, you just can't let anybody touch you. So yeah. And dealing with the vote, even if it was about entertainment, shit, I don't even think that Obama would even win against Trump. Because Trump was dropping the facts, and, you know, if they was to go against each other. So, yeah, I mean, everything's handpicked. So, with that being said, I'm going to say, peace. I love you. And, you know, it's real serious. You can either become a national, American national, or get a whole nother citizenship somewhere else. But as of right now, they can pull niggas over with assumption. Because if you're in an area where it's just nothing but niggas, and they know it's this type of nigga, it's not mixed with African over here or East African over here, they don't know who they pulling over, or Somalian, then they know they can just go right at whoever. But if they don't know that you may be a Somalian or, you know, someone who has this ethnic background, that they can draw the papers back before, they don't know if they gave up their rights to get the citizenship of America, they're not going to chance that right away. But when they know it's a nigga, they know that niggas are private citizens and property. Cattle. And property can't own property. So niggas can't own shit. So when we thinking we in their little businesses, in their little offices, you know, you got a home paying rent there, you got an office paying rent there. It's like trying to keep up with who? Shit, the Adams. It's like trying to keep up with them. You know what I'm saying? We call it the Joneses. And what's that gonna do? Put you in what? Debt in their world, in their de facto court system. Get credit in the God's world. Because whatever's in Caesar's world, he gonna have that shit. But in this world, in the spirit world, that's the Most High's. So yeah, the beginning is coming. It's just, are you with it or not? And with that being said, if you ain't already, you just better like, comment, and subscribe. With that being said, I'm going to say peace, and I love you. Spread the joy, y'all.